You be honest with them all the time. You don't sugarcoat anything. And people think I'm mean because I don't sugarcoat things. I just tell you straight up. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. '59, when I got off the bus here, I graduated from Texas Southern on a Sunday. I caught the bus on Monday. I got here on Tuesday. What had happened, one of my college professors at TSU had been to a party, 4th of July in San Antonio, and the principal, who was C.A. Thomas, needed an art teacher. She said, "We have just the person for you." And she came back, she said, "We have a job for you." I said, "I haven't finished college." "We still have a job for you." So I signed a contract July 17th of 1959, and I graduated on the 23rd of August. And that's why I came to Midland. I've been here ever since.
She originally was teaching when she came to Midland at Carver. That's the early 60s. And when Carver closed, she moved on to other parts of the school district. And we were fortunate enough to get her at Pease Elementary.
I taught at Carver, Washington, Crockett, Ben Milam, Pease, and South.
Miss Yarbrough is like an extended mom. My mother was a loving, caring woman, but a disciplinarian as well, and really emphasized education, even though she was not able to finish hers. And she looked to Miss Yarbrough, which Miss Yarbrough had a first name basis conversation with my mom and other mothers. That's one of the reasons why we could never be little rascals, if you will. We did it anyway. We got punished, and then we straightened up, and then that was okay.
I was born in South Louisiana, Franklin, in St. Mary's Parish. I grew up in Houston, Texas, 3rd Ward. Finished from Jack Douglas Elementary School, Jack Yates High School, Texas Southern University. I was a homeless kid. I was homeless. My mother went into the hospital in April of 1944, and we were shocked because we thought she was going to come home. She had tuberculosis. And I became a single parent at 8 years old to my little brother. My dad, well, his drug of choice was wine, and it just floored him. When he sobered up, I was in college for 2 years, and he always said to us what he was going to do. My brother said, "Do you think he'll do that?" I said, "A drunk man will do whatever he says he's going to do. The thing is never to get caught doing what he said not to do." He was a disciplinarian, but he was not a provider. And I tell people he was the greatest dad in the world because he provided us with the don't get in trouble thing, because you never know where I'm going to be. I worked at every Bulow's in Houston, which was a high-priced dress shop, and Mr. Grossman said, "Don't listen to them, you work for me." And all of the people, the Jewish couple I work for, they said, "Don't listen to the rest of the workers because you don't work for them, you work for me." And I'm that way now. I learned that I'm self-employed. And when I got that down, that I'm self-employed, they pay me for what I say I can do. I'm the only one who can mess that up by screwing around. My brother and I lived in 14 different places. He ran away from the 14th place. When I left the 14th place, I came out here. When I came here, Midland was redlined, because when you go down Highway 80, you could only get to Colored Town on Lee Street, but they blocked that off. From Highway 80 over to Cloverdale Road, back up to Terrell Street, back to Fairground Road. That's where the blacks live. When I taught at Carver, it was an all-black community. The young men that I taught at Carver, when I look at them, I see the first state football, first day basketball. And I see those young men and how they stuck their chest out and they were very proud. They couldn't play Midland High. We played on Thursday night. They played on Friday night. And they said, why don't they let us play? I said, with segregation. What many people did not know, Thanksgiving and Christmas, they played one another. Midland High never won a game. Never won a game. And I know some of those Midland High folk tell me, Yarbrough, they beat the snot out of us. I said, well, you know.
Okay, picture prior 1975. I'm in Pease Elementary, and Miss Yarbrough is one of the teachers there, and she has a group of kids, all of us, that were over there prior to busing. Primarily all the kids were African American, some Hispanics. And so we had that was the dynamic of the school. And when some kids like myself struggle, she would take the time and sound out words for you. She would be available before school, be available after school. And sometimes you could even go to her house, which was just across the way from Pease Elementary.
One year, I got home and all these young men were sitting outside. And I said, what do you want? We came to talk. I had taught their dads in high school, so these young men came over and they started a group called Beans with Barbara. And every Thursday they would come by and sit and eat beans and cornbread.
That's the beauty of all the teachers back then, that they really, really cared for you. And when they see kids struggling, and if you came to school with your hair not done proper, or your shoes and things like that need to be cleaned up, or your shirt's not clean, they always had a little extra clothing that you could put on so no kid would pick on you. They would sit you aside and kind of straighten your hair out, things like that, so you'd be presentable in school.
Ask him about gotcha gonna get you.
Those are wonderful colloquialisms that she used to get us to stay in line. It's a reminder that if you do certain things, then you will be straightened out.
And I had a belt that they named it Big Blue. I wore Big Blue out. When they all graduated from high school, I threw Big Blue away. I should have bronzed Big Blue. They said, man, she gonna take Big Blue out. Because I told them, I'm gonna use Big Blue on your pockets, and you better be in your pants.
Big Blue and whatever else could be handed at the time. But understand, back then you could use corporal punishment. But corporal punishment was never used as a means to truly punish people back then. But it was a means that helped shape you into being, wonderful young men, wonderful young women. It was common practice to sometimes straighten kids out. But even after they straighten you out, they would give you a hug and tell you why and how not to get in this position again. So we learned from it. And I can truly say that here I am today as a statement of being a wonderful individual. I pray that I am, and she's been a great part of that.
I don't give grades. I had over my door 80%. I don't put anything in my roll book under 80. You are 100 when you walk in, and I'm trying my best to get you 100. So my thing with kids is you sit and visit with them, even when they don't want to talk to you. Compliment them on the thing that you see that they don't see, and let's fertilize it and make it grow. They've changed and they've not changed. What has happened, the adults have changed. People come in and they give the kid the little iPad because they don't want to talk to them. No one talks anymore. I have 5 boys. I have my son and my 5 nephews. When they come to my house, Anyone who takes off that phone, they got to pay. That bottled water is $1. Pay me my dollar right now, not tomorrow. Pay me my money now. And if you eat my meal, that's $25. Because you go to the restaurant, you're sitting up there with your phone. This is family time. People don't have family time. They don't talk to children. They're not that important. They're important, but not important.
She always drummed into us the importance of your basic reading, writing, arithmetic. That's how it was back then.
I was the adult with the degree, but we were all working with one another. And it was drawing on the ones, because you know something that she doesn't know. Okay, you guys become partners. And we'll talk about it after a while. What did you learn from Sally Sue?
That's the thing. All the teachers would be now considered exceptional, but that was very common because most of the teachers that we were encountered understood segregation. They made it through and got their education. They imparted that upon the children that they were being charged with. And so, yes, Miss Yarbrough was exceptional, but she was not exceptional within the school. All the teachers were like that.
I have fun in the hallway because I have a little wave like this. And one little kid said, "Why do we wave like that?" I said, "Because I am the queen. And you are a prince, and you are the little princesses. And we have a hall full of little royal people." What does royal mean? You're kings and queens when you get to be old. I can be a king and queen. Yes. Why not teach them that? Why not tell them they're important? It's been the kind of job where you encourage people because they think they can't do anything. I'm stuck. And my thing is, you're only stuck in the mud if you want to stay stuck in the mud. What are your hopes and dreams? Not your parents' hopes and dreams, but what are yours? What are you going to do? I've seen the culture of the schools change. One time they told me they were moving me from place to place, but, well, you work well with people and we need a black person there and we know you're gonna work well with everybody. I don't wanna work well with everybody all the time. Leave me where I am. So one time I refused to go. I wasn't going to Bonham. I stayed where I was. Glad I stayed where I was because I finally ended up here. And it's been an awesome journey. And would I trade it? No. No, I would not. And what I do now as a parent liaison, I didn't know, I retired out of the classroom because my cataract was so bad, I couldn't read anything in here. And I said, well, I can't see. So the principal said, Ray Hoffacker was my principal, she said, well, I want you to do what you do best, and I'm not ready for you to leave. I said, what I do best? She said, yes, work with the parents.
I saw her this last weekend, and it brought tears to my eyes, because I was thinking about how I was going to present to the public my views of Miss Yarbrough. And it also brought back the heartfelt I feel for my mom. And when I saw her this weekend, it was extraordinary. And I gave her a big hug, and she's always been the same person.
Dr. Warren called me. He said, well, they had 5 names left, and yours was the finalist. I have to call you to ask you if we can put your name on the ballot for the name for school. I said, whatever, okay. We were out at Lee High School, and Angel Sanchez, who's on the board now, he said, I'm gonna nominate you. I said, Angel, get out of my face, go on, leave me alone. Because I have this group of men who like to mess with me. And they came back and said, well, guess what? You're it. And I said, okay. I turned around, I cried for 3 years. Every time I thought about it, I don't talk about it because I think the little old kid
who was homeless on the streets of Houston looking for a place. And my brother called us the dead woman and the drunk man's children. And they're going to name a school after the. That is an honor and a tribute to all of my parents and their children.
One thing you see in Miss Yarbrough is she loves what she's doing. I believe each of us have to have a purpose to wake up in the morning. And she has a purpose of putting into those children who are well removed from me. She's taught my brothers, sisters, some of my brothers, sisters' children, and grandchildren. And she's still teaching. That is the thing that motivates her. Her legacy is not a building. Her legacy is not accolades. Her legacy is built into the formation of good young women and children for generations upon generations.
Thank you, Jesus. My prayer every morning is, Lord, let me know when I've done the job you sent me to do today. And it's fun. It is so much fun.
Well, she's already been, had her name forever etched in time here in Midland. And she received over the years a number of accolades. I would say her greatest achievement, again, is in the lives that she imparted to youth and all the young men and women that now are grown, that you see gone off to do great things, come back to Midland, and are upstanding citizens. I think that's her greatest achievement. Those things that are relative to buildings and namesakes and proclamations, they're wonderful. But you cannot substitute the influence on a human being and the way you shape their character. That is her greatest achievement.
And everybody wondered, why do you look like that? Because I come in the morning with my straw, that energy. Why not enjoy the energy? Why not enjoy the energy? Why not? It's fun.